Good morning, welcome to Career Life Transition and our Thursday morning blog. My name is Peter James and welcome to the Christmas season. Well, it's not long away Christmas time and we're all going to probably take a couple of weeks off, and it's a great time to reflect on where your career's at, where's it going and what's next for you. Now, I guess some of you may be thinking, and it's always a difficult question, should I be changing my careers? How hard or easy is it to change your career? Well, there are 6 things that I would suggest you consider before changing your career. So if you're in a rut, you're not enjoying the job, you've been doing the same job for 20 years, you're thinking to yourself, is now a time of change for something different, then think about these things. Think about whether a change of career is something that you can embark on and do successfully. Now, we are offering free resume reviews for the next 4 weeks or so leading up to Christmas. So please drop in your resume. We can have a look at it for you, certainly give you some advice on how it looks and what have you, especially if you are considering changing your career. Send it through to us at info@careerlife.net.au. I'll be more than happy to have a look at that for you. So we're live. Please feel free to send in your questions, your comments or anything like that. We're talking about how easy is it to change your career? So for me, there are 6 things I would consider and talk to people about when I'm coaching them in terms of changing their career. Now, the very first one is your financial situation. Now, changing careers and what have you, you could do it quite smoothly and it has no impact on your financial situation, or you may be in quite a senior position or have been in a role for a while where you've reached the top of that pay band, and then changing your career may have an impact on your finances and it may take you a little time to recover from that. So I guess the first thing I would suggest is stop, have a look at your financial situation, say, can I afford to basically start off again at a lower title and possibly a lower pay rate and build that back up again as I move into my new career. I guess the second thing people need to consider, and certainly some feedback, is the whole risk. If you've been working in the same industry, in the same career for the last 20 years, how do you know this new career that you're looking towards will answer your question, will lead you to a path of happiness or more happy than you are in your current role? So I guess everything in life is a risk. My suggestion around that is talk to people in that industry, start to have a look at attending industry meetings, read industry magazine, have a list of your own loves and the things you're really, really good at, and start to see how those type of things line up. So you can start to feel a little bit more confident with the possibility of enjoying your new career better than the career you're enjoying at the moment. One of the things, I've had probably 4 or 5 major career changes in my life, and I guess one of the things that really struck me at one point where I had a complete change, a completely different industry, was my lack of network. I'd been in one industry for a number of years and had built up a very, very, very strong network in that industry. Going into another industry where those links, those groups of people were not the same in any way, shape or form, meant I had to build that network from scratch. And that was not as easy as I think. And those of you who follow us and chat to us and know me, my view is your network is the most important thing in your portability and job movement and motion. So really consider that as you move to a new role. You will lose network and you will lose all those little things, bits and pieces and extras you got from your existing network. Now, I hate to bring it up, but age is probably going to be an issue as well. So when you're moving careers, have a look at, well, what is the acceptable age to move in there? I mean, I've seen people join the police force at 45 and 50 years old. I've seen people join the army at 40 years old. These things are all possible, depending on what role you want to play in that new career. But there's other situations where your age may count against you if you want to move into a different career. But as I say, anything is possible. I guess the other thing I want to talk about in terms of the portability of you into a completely new career is really your transferable skills. So you have a whole set of industry skills and you have a whole set of transferable skills, personal skills, and they are skills to do with your ability to communicate, present, build teams, lead, those type of things. So If there is a reasonable overlap in those transferable skills into a new role, then that transition is going to be a little bit easier. If they don't overlap, then you might find that transfer a little bit more difficult. For example, if you worked in an engineering role which was very engineering, maths, physics focused, and you wanted to move into a retail sales role, then you would need to demonstrate to your potential employer that you had the skills from a salesperson, even though they're not demonstrable in the previous role you had. So think about your transferable skills, and I think a lot of people don't really consider that a whole range of skills they have are the thing that will allow you mostly to move into a new career. The last thing I want you to think about is what are the barriers of entry into moving into a new career. Now, for some moving industries, if I'm a general manager in one industry, moving to another industry may not be that big a challenge. But, and we've had someone come through and do this, if you wanted to go and become a medical doctor, then the barriers of entry are quite large. You've got to get into medical school, you've got to do your degree, you've got to pass your degree, you've got to go do your locum work and things like that. And you could be looking down the barrel of about 8 years worth of study to move into that. So, barriers of entry can be a bit of an issue, not insurmountable, but they are something you need to consider in terms of developing a new set of skills. I certainly, when I changed my roles, I certainly went back to university and did a degree to allow me to change my career. And I had to take that pay cut. So just going through it again, things to consider: your financial situation, risks, and a lot of them may even be in your own head around that change, that loss of network, your age, what are your transferable skills, and what may be the barriers of entry into moving into that role. Now, those things, anything is possible. Anything is possible. I mean, I've seen little old ladies go in and get a doctorate at 85 years old. Anything is possible in terms of what you want to do in your life. It really depends on what your focus is. And let's face it, when you left high school, you were probably faced with exactly the same kind of situation. But the difference is you probably didn't have a partner, you weren't married, you didn't have kids, didn't have mortgages, all those type of commitments. So if you're free of those kind of commitments, these kind of decisions will be quite easy for you. When you're not free of that whole range of commitments, then these are the things I would suggest you seriously consider moving forward. So yes, you can change careers at any stage of your life, and you can be very, very successful at it. But come and talk to the coaches at Career Life Transition if you have some questions about those type of things. We can talk you through all those kind of barriers and what have you that you may be facing and answer all of those questions. Now, don't forget, we are offering a free resume review to the end of the year, up until Christmas time. So please email us at info@careerlife.net.au. And looking forward to any of your questions, any of your queries, anything we can assist you with, just drop it down on our Facebook page and we'll be happy to get back to you. Until next Thursday, have a fantastic fantastic lead up to Christmas. We're not quite there yet, but it is the season for parties and whatever, so be careful on the roads, enjoy yourself, don't go silly, and we look forward to speaking with you very soon.